more. Where did you think that love went?
I I didn't think that what I had done as a single mother, nobody wrote the books, nobody did the videos, nobody, I did all the work and I loved it. And I thought that it evaporated, that it meant nothing. I thought that it meant nothing. And
Why did you think it meant nothing? Did you think it just dissipated? That it
well,
just
I don't get any royalties, whatever. I haven't done it in years. I think Jamie said it the best. She said in her programs that she loves and
you're talking
is
about
a
Jamie
part.
Lee Curtis, who
Jamie Lee
executive
Curtis,
producer.
who's the executive director of the movie, who is one of the nicest women and most, she's just beyond. But what she said was, when we have friends and family, we have a saying that says, "Are you checking up on them? Are you like?" She said, nobody checked up on Susan Powter, not the people who were in charge, not nobody. And that forgotten feeling is not emotional; it's atmospheric. And I am so grateful for. I mean, I'm shocked. I have people coming, like they're like, when I was a 14-year-old young boy in Ohio, I saw this wild woman on the screen and I knew that different could be okay. And my mom loved you and my grandmother loved you and she would have loved this. And I didn't know that. And because I'm not an arrogant person, I was actually raising my children. I was traveling like a lunatic. I was going home to the baseball games. I was making dinner. I was
Mm.
running my home. Yes, I had
But
help.
but when you're doing this, are people not seeing you and going like, "Oh, Susan Powter"?
The love now, the recognition now, the not now because I didn't look this way. My hair was long and brown for 10 years. I wear hats every day. I wasn't trying to be Susan Powter. I wasn't.
So, so here's my question then. Well, I have a lot of questions for you, but
Yes, yes.
fame is an interesting thing. Like before you're famous, you know what real life is. And
Yeah.
then feeling fame is a very unworldly feeling, right?
Hmm.
So what does it feel like being a civilian, if you will, like a normal, real
Yeah.
person, and then famous, and then going back to a real person? What is it?
It,
Is there a void, or does it feel more
oh, it's
comfortable?
beyond devoid. It's deadly. I had a job that I needed so badly, the manager of a cafe in Las Vegas. I got the job as a 62-year-old woman. I drove really far to get it. I needed that job and I'm really good at it. I can run the hell out of a restaurant.
When
I
was
walked
this?
in.
Give me context. When was
This is
this?
whatever, way before the movie. Like the last
Okay.
9, I've been driving for Uber for 9 years, so it was 9 years ago. Be whenever,
Okay.
before my dog died. That's all I know. Before M died, which is I wrote my book to to my dog M. My memoirs. I'm gonna send you one too. But anyway,
Yes.
here's the answer to the question. I needed that job really badly, and I walked in one day and she fired me, and she said, "I Googled you. What are you here to like investigate my food? Like, why are you working? You're Susan Powter." I got fired because I was Susan Powter. I didn't have a car when I was taking my youngest son to school. And the bus driver opened the door and laughed at me. She was like, what are you doing here? Like, why are you taking the bus? Is it just an experiment? It's hard when everyone knows when there's difficulty paying the bills, when you don't have insurance, when you don't have credit, when your infrastructure is not there. It's frightening. Life is frightening because everything is built on that infrastructure and you're kind of screwed. And then you get to 60, 61. I mean, I'm 68 in 2 weeks. It's been 8 years of when I was 60, which I thought whatever. So but when you had something, I didn't go from Hollywood to Harbor Island, which is the welfare motel that I lived in. It was years. I've been making $15 an hour for years. I'm a worker. I don't care. I'm not snotty. I'm like, I'm trying to be Susan Powter. I wasn't. I
Yeah.
wasn't. But I started referring to myself in the past tense. Ross, that's when I knew. I started saying, I used to be a strong woman. I used to be a strong mother. I used to be doing work that I started referring to myself in the past tense, not
Mm.
Susan Powter, my being. I
Mm.
used to be a mother who ran a family. I used to be able to help my children financially.
I think
And that
it's
was
so
horrifying. That
that
was
is fascinating,
no,
Susan,
I
because I
literally split like like I started to refer to myself, my life in the past tense. And it shocked the hell out of me, Ross, and scared me. That's
I
right.
wonder if people, I'm thinking about people watching this and thinking, how can some people that have never experienced fame like that or in
Yeah.
any way relate? But I do think maybe it's almost like we define ourselves. I think I find comfort in sort of defining myself at times, right? And I think
Yeah.
maybe some people define, I'm a parent and I raise my children.
Mhm.
And then what happens when they leave and go to college and you're redefining who you
Well,
are?
every mother knows this. I'm sorry, but they call it empty nest. I call it pure freedom. Because yes, but there is a difference because I unfortunately haven't changed one iota, which is, annoying to some people, I'm sure. I didn't take fame. What I liked about fame was as a single mother, I was making money and I could put my kids in school. I could do whatever. I could pay for field trips. I didn't walk around doing this. I was working like a racer and it was nonstop. I knew I love my work when I would do events and speaking things and book signings. I mean, it was real love. I never left without everybody getting their book signed. I like that stuff, but
Mm,
I wasn't fancy schmancy famous and I never wanted more. I wanted less. I am a very simple gal and I always have been. What
mm,
is sad, and that's what people don't know, what I want in my life for security, I should have had times 10. That's not 200 million. That is a home. That is property. That is insurance. That is an IRA or whatever the hell you're supposed to have for the kids. What that should have been set up the first day. Like to
interesting.
not, I was the one. Everyone's got a house. Managers have houses everywhere. Everyone's got bills paid and everyone's got jobs. They, their job was to manage my life. And I'm the one that, when they did the bankruptcy, which was a corporate bankruptcy and it's a whole to move a trial from Texas to California because Texas didn't understand California entertainment money. And the judge in Texas looked at it and said, well, I think this little lady makes plenty of money as far as I can see. And they were like, okay,
Mm,
what? And he said those words. It was
little lady.
1990. What little lady makes plenty of money as far what is she worrying
Mhm.
about? Because so they said, we're going to move a corporate bankruptcy. It has nothing to do with you. I paid that price for 28 years. No
But
credit.
in the film, it's what's so fascinating to me too is that when you talk about losing that, right, and that process and
Yeah.
all that went wrong, the emotion doesn't come in really. I don't see you really getting emotional until you talk about as a mother not being able to
Uh,
provide in the way that you wanted to.
yeah. It is. Listen, it was me and the boys, me and the boys, me and the boys. I'm a radical single mom. Like I ran a good home. I raised good kids. We had the Montessori method. There was never a mess. There was no yelling. I didn't do it. But when I say boys, to this day, they go, yes, ma'am. Six
Wow.
four to this day. Like I'm like I don't I was called the dominatrix of discipline.
That's
No,
hot.
no, but you know what? I was raised with yelling, and I was raised in. I don't know. It was we had a home, organic. They were raised organically. They did not get infected by the AMA and all that stuff. It was me and the boys. Me and the boys. I took enormous pride in that. And
I can
and when
tell.
that dynamic changed, I write a thing in the book, which is the truth. When I had to go up to, first of all, my son said, "Mom, I got you a car." He bought it at an auction because I drive for a living, and my car was broke down. And he said, I got you a car, flying up to Seattle. Now this was Mossy's just born, so it's like 6 years ago. And all hell broke loose. Like if that would have been the end, that would have been too much. And I wrote, and what I said was, I went to pick the car up. My grandson was born 1,100 miles away. I saw him for 2 hours because I had to get back to work immediately. And I was at the gas station. My son was filling up, fill up the tank for you, Mom. And I looked at him and I thought, I never thought I'd be uncomfortable with my child. I
Mhm.
never thought that was possible. And then I looked at his dental work and I said, we're in a different class, he and I. And it was awkward. And I'll say this, Ross Matthews, as a mother, a parent, I don't care if you're a parent, when that dynamic shifts, it's seismic. It's like an
Wow.
earthquake. It's seismic, Ross Matthews. And and we're still, and what I realized, I said to my children recently, you have to hear this. We've done a lot of screenings, we've done a lot of film festivals, and the response is, I can't even with the audience. Just give me the audience who sees the movie and leave me with them. My children saw the movie for the first time last Wednesday. They've never seen
Oh,
it. They
wow.
flew into
And
Vegas. We had beyond pride, beyond pride, beyond. My son said, I can't. But my son said this. He was talking about a friend of his who has a mom who just, she's just pills and having trouble and just always a victim of blood. And he said, Mom, her story is a story of blowing your life on an addiction and bringing your children down with it. He said, your story is a story of hard work, redemption, and decency.
Yeah. And your story too, that's
And thank
beautiful. I
you,
mean,
my
God, you
son.
raise good kids to
Oh,
like know
and they're
that.
good
Come
lookers
on.
too. They're all
Oh,
good lookers too.
well, they
Every
come
one of
from
them.
you, you know.
Thank you very much.
But
We'll
also,
ignore the baby daddy of the couple of them.
well, why not? But here's the deal too. You know what else you are is somebody whose story isn't done being written. So I don't want to dwell. I feel like everything that I've seen, all the press, and rightfully so, that you've been doing about this movie talks about what happened, what happened, what
Yeah, yeah,
happened.
yeah.
And I had to ask
They
you that
need
too.
that moment. They need that moment to,
Yes.
yeah.
And I think I think you've got to just watch the movie to hear what happens. So I don't want to go through that with you, but I also I want to know what's next for you. Like, is this a refresh for you? Does it feel like a rebirth? What does this moment feel like?
It feels, as I say, and I mean this, it's not, Zebediah Newman, who's the director of the movie, who looked for me for 9 months. Did you know that? 9 months.
I know he tracked you down, but I didn't know it took
9
9
months.
months.
And he said the longer it took for me not to be able to find her anywhere, I knew something was up. I knew there was a story. Like, where is she? Where is she? Okay,
Mm-hmm.
9 months. And he and Jamie Lee Curtis and John Redmond, another executive producer, they gave me life. And I know it. Listen, when you're 68, Ross Matthews, and you've been through it, and whatever, on a cell, it's really different. Like living, I don't get along with people who talk about your gratitude and this and that, because I just don't buy half of it. Because I know what living gratitude is.
So what's the difference?
Well, here's the difference. Kama Sutra, which has nothing to do with anything, sexuality, it isn't. What it is you preserve the orgasm, and you put it, it's a practice that makes a lot of sense if you understand the energy of the body. Okay. But I don't agree with Kama Sutra. It's not my thing. Who cares?
Okay.
I can feel healing now because I take moments like last night. I got back from doing a CNN thing and I sat alone with the chickens and I said, "You're safe, Susan. You have no, Ross, I can feel it internally." And what I said to
Wow.
prove the point is that my energy didn't go anywhere. There's no low to this high. I am not medicated. I am not manic in any way. I wake up this way, I go to bed this way. Doesn't work well in the world, but that's great. I felt it boomeranging back in, and I could feel disease setting in. Like 3 years ago, I said, "There's no way out of this. You're going to get sick." There was no place for my energy to go. I was a speaker with no audience. That's what I do. I talk. I
Yeah.
teach with no classroom.
Mm.
I'm a writer with no book. And I could feel it boomeranging back in. And that's when I said disease is setting in. I swear to God, I have a whole story. I have a whole story, but
So
now
what?
it's the opposite. What the difference is, I physically feel like like it's okay. And I can feel healing. It's okay. So what's ahead? Every single thing I did before Ross Matthews, nobody wrote the book. Nobody did. I did it. I have a chance to do my work again. I will be checking the bank account every 3 minutes. Every 3 minutes.
When you say
And
do your work again, what does that mean? Do your work again? What are you going to do?
books, audio, video, speaking engagements, touring, television, interviews, people, audiences, go out on tour in my RV, meeting people. I'm the pop up. I'm the pop up. I'm going out. I'm the
Right.
pop up, and I will gather audio, and we'll film it, and we'll put it up, and we'll zoom you in, or what. Like, this freedom to me, for someone who was under the constraints of the 90s corporate, I had Simon & Schuster, Time Warner, I had Multimedia and Nexstar. Those were major corporations, not to
Yes.
mention the Susan Powter Show, which was the worst show on television, I might add. Hated every moment of it. Did it for a year, but I was like, I can't even believe
Well,
I can't even believe. So I can do that all now, sitting with the chickens outside with you, whom I adore, and everyone knows I do.
I
Since the day I
do.
met you, everyone knows. I've said it over and over again. I am not, I'll tell you this, and I mean it. I think everyone must have a Ross Matthews energy in their life. I think we need to clone you. I do. No, like, everyone needs Ross Matthews. That is a bumper sticker. Take it. It's yours, kid.
I'll take
Take
up.
it.
Thank you.
I mean it.
That means a lot to me. Well, and we actually, if people watch your documentary, they may be surprised that I am actually in it.
Yes, you're in it. Very few people. Ross Matthews is in it. Bob Ossina, and very few people are in it. Bob Ossina, who's the original editor of Stop the Insanity and also is my editor now because I called him 35 years later. I said, Bob. He was like, Susan.
I love that. See, you two are such
Oh,
opposites. It's a great
oh,
relationship between
you
you.
know what I said to him recently? First of all, he was the top editor at Simon & Schuster for 1,000 years. He has like 18 degrees in philosophy. He is one of the most, he has books piled up to here. And I said to him recently, I said, Bob, I think I give you life. When you say that I feed you life, because the only time I've ever heard you laugh is with me. I'll give you an example. Bob Asahina is his name. My
Uh-huh.
son, Kyle, who's brilliant. Hava Nagila. Here's what we do every time we see Bob. Baba Sahina, Baba Sahina, Baba Sahina, Baba Baba Baba. Hey, Baba Sahi. We turn it into Hava Nagila. Now, Bob, that brings Baba Sahina life. Do you
Yeah,
understand?
yeah, I understand. I understand. And I love it. I've been, and that's a great moment in there because it's bringing you two back together.
Yes.
But I'm curious I want to hear when you heard I was going to be a part of it, what you thought, and I want to tell
No,
you my
I said to
experience.
Zeb. No, I said to Zeb.
You
Well,
did.
here's what's. No, oh, absolutely. I said, I love Ross Matthew. Zeb said this to me, which is the truth. It's okay. And don't be sad, anybody. Don't be sad about this. Because, a documentary, you have the person and then you go and, B-roll, you cut to and you weave the story that way. It's kind of whatever. And Zeb came to me. We were shooting for 9 months and kept shooting. And he said, listen, do you have any friends? And I said, no. I said, well, I have one friend that I've known for years, haven't seen for years. And then I have Marianne as my friend. I said, but no, I don't have groups. I'm not social. I'm working. I wasn't exactly out partying for $20 a day. That wasn't happening. And I was very isolated to the point where the day I met Zeb, he often says you were like Nell in the woods. Remember Jody and
Of
Nell?
course. Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
he was
In the
like,
ring.
you were raised by wolves. Like so I was like people and I can't, and somebody's coughing and their children. Like I very, 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 very isolated. Days and months of silence. Work. I
Mhm.
got up work, I go to bed. That's what I mean. There was no place for the energy to go. That's when
I
it frightened
understand.
me. It frightened me in the last 3 years. I met Zeb 2 years ago. So a
Wow.
year before I met Zeb, and I met Zeb I had a girlfriend who died, and the anniversary of her 20-year death is November. It's okay. I talk to her every day. It's fine. The anniversary of her death is November 13th, and I said, I'll meet you on November 13th. And that's when we met, the 20th
That's when you met
anniversary.
Zeb,
Yeah.
who is the person
The
who
executive, he's the one that did everything. He's the
everything.
director. He did everything. He was like, I have to do this movie. He
Well,
said, can I come and film you?
and he reached out to me. I'll tell you my story. He reached out to me, and he was like, because we had met and we have similar. No, we now I love him. I talk to him on a regular
Yeah.
basis.
Yeah.
But he
Love.
says I'm doing this documentary on Susan Powder. I was like, I love Susan Powder. I was like, how is she? I haven't seen her in forever. And he's like, I'd like to talk to you about her. And I go, well, I love her, but like I met her. I mean, just the time on that cruise
Yeah.
all those years ago. So I'm like, I don't have any insight other than like and he's like, I would just like to sit down and talk to you. I was like, I'll do anything you
That's
want.
because I said I have no friends. Marianne is my friend. I was like, oh, I have one. And then I said, but you know who I like in this industry? Swear, I was like Ross Matthews. And
For
he was like,
reals?
okay. No,
Is that how
that is the truth.
because
I was like,
I didn't quite understand. And I just, all I wanted to do was like, give through the only thing I could do, which is like my POV of how amazing you are. And then
yeah.
how, and how how I saw you exist in the
And
real
also
world and as
look
a
at the
human.
juxtaposition of you knew me back then. We met on the cruise. I was I just love Fabulous. What a nice guy. Loved him. Great. And you've done very, very well. You've worked the industry better. Oh, that's another thing I said to Zeb. No, this is how it came up. I swear I said this. I said, if I was going to have a manager, whoever manages Ross Matthews, I'd use his manager because he has woven you're present. You've got great jobs. You're looking better and better. Like you just have done a really good job. And when
Um,
you're on a panel, you're good at what you do. It's authentic. It's like a talent. It's like, it's like a crazy kind of talent. So you have done a very good job of navigating. And I said,
well,
if I was going to have a manager, I would have Ross, whoever manages Ross Matthews. And he was like, oh, you like Ross? That conversation came
that's
up
how
with
it
Zeb and I.
happened.
That's
Well,
what's real.
I hope you were happy with what I said in there about you. But I have to tell you, when I watched it back, I was for the first time, and I watched it 3 times. I was
Thank
just
you.
so proud of the film. I thought it was so good, and
Thank you.
I thought it was very authentic. Very authentic.
It's real. Well, you want to hear a secret?
Yeah.
You guys want to hear a secret?
Yeah.
I've never seen the movie. No, no,
That's
no.
great.
Ross Matthews, I haven't seen one monitor. I did not ask Zeb one question.
Uh-huh.
I have never seen the movie, and Jamie Lee Curtis is quite impressed with that. I don't
Will
need
you
to.
ever?
No, no, because I know the movie. I know what I shot. I know the story that he was putting together, and I knew he would do. He could have made it so salacious, Ross. He could have made it. He could have done anything with that. And I knew, raised by a single mother, very smart filmmaker, really believes in me. Like, really was like, oh, this just needs to be told, like whatever. I totally trusted him. And I have no need to see the movie. It's not because emotional. I'm not, it won't hurt me. It won't, I mean, everybody I know has seen it. Audiences have seen it. People, like the response has been amazing in 24 hours. I've never seen the movie.
But are you not tempted? Can I ask you this? Because
Not one bit.
I would want to, we can't see ourselves. Like sometimes you look at a picture of yourself and you go, oh my God, look at me. Like, is that what I look like? And I would be curious what I look like. And I
No,
don't
I
mean
have
what your face
not
looks
an
like,
app.
but who you are.
No, I knew that I think literally, there's a light that just went on or off outside. I don't know what the hell's going. You can still, whatever.
I can see you.
Something just flicked. I have no idea what happened. But anyway,
It's a spirit, Susan.
it,
Something's
well,
happening.
oh no, it could be. It easily could be Amy. No, she's all over the place. She flicks the lights on and off. I'm telling you, I have stories. But anyway, I say in the book that I can compartmentalize better than anyone I know. It's not protection. I don't believe that. I'm not afraid of seeing it. I know I don't, I mean, I shot it no makeup. Who has a movie camera in their face with no makeup at 65? Who does that? Like, that's nuts. I have nothing. I've done nothing. And I don't barely have to, no, I know that he wove a beautiful story, and I don't have any need to. I gave him everything, everything.
Mhm.
So no, and my children saw it for the first time last week. And I know
Wow.
this. I know they were like the beginning and the open. I mean, I know about the movie, but I have never seen not a monitor, not in anything about it.
Wow.
Yeah,
And why not?
I don't need to. I gave him everything. I lived it. I don't need to relive it. It hurts me. I don't need to relive it. And we're moving on. We're moving up. We're moving
Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
We're
Yeah,
looking
you are.
forward. We're looking
So
forward, Ross Matthews.
So what about this? So now that everyone was like, I love Susan, where'd Susan go? Oh, here Susan is. And I said, oh, she's the same human, right? I love her. What do we do now? How do we follow you? How do we get your
Here's
book?
one
How do
one
we?
of the things that really I'm telling you, I'm not prideful to the point of ridiculousness, but I'm a worker and I've never asked for anything, and I don't believe in charity. I don't want charitable anything. What is happening now is everything I've wanted. The response I have, I listen, I don't look at numbers like, oh, we've got 30,000. I don't. Everyone who follows me, adore. Everyone who comments, adore. I live for. I wake up and I'm like, oh my God, they're so nice. And you watched it at midnight when it came. It feeds me. I have possibility and hope now that I never dreamt was possible again. And I will tell you this, Ross Matthews, what is about to happen makes Stop the Insanity look like the dress rehearsal it was. And I mean that. It was
What is
my
it going
dress
to be?
rehearsal.
Why? What's it going to be?
It's just going to be every product I made before, I'll do again. Everything I talked about, I'll do again. I have agencies, I'm talking to a manager and an agent right now who are amazing. They're amazing. I've had speaking agencies reach out to me. I've had people like offers. I've had offers, and it's organic, Ross Matt. It's not, I never got on the phone. You got a booker. That's not what's happening here. It's organic. And, and,
Mm,
and for me, I did it before in the 90s to travel and do and go to Time Warner and stay in the plaza and go. I like the plaza. Not the point. Like, I'm not saying that for the plaza. I'm saying it's a
I
nice
understood.
hotel.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying? But I can do this. I just did a meeting this morning at 11 with a monster speaking agency. And they were like, oh, you can basically talk about anything. Okay. Like, I have a chance to work and I have a chance. There's two things I want. It's Rihanna 101, and I mean it. Um, I am on a bit of the revenge train. This is not all love. I'm on the revenge locomotive. I came around with a movie.
Revenge against.
The managers, the agents, the literary, the this and
Got
the
it.
that who didn't manage because they thought I was gone.
Okay.
And things were done, and I know them, and I know what happened, and they know I know. And I don't care. I'm not going back. What I'm saying is, I've come around with a number one hit indie movie after 30 years of not being seen. Okay, I'm fine with that. That's a little, is it,
At
what is,
at 60 what?
at 68
There
in
you
two
go.
weeks.
There
Thank
you
you.
go.
So
Yeah.
there is and I said I didn't just come back on on a revenge train. I came back on a revenge locomotive, and I'm the engineer, and I own it. I own everything now.
Good.
I own everything, and I see the numbers and I see the analytics, and no, it is open transparency. That for me is the gift of life, and
Yes,
I
and
mean that
yeah,
literally.
and you have something that is more valuable. We have two things that are more valuable than all the money that was lost, which is
Oh,
you have your voice, whatever it covers all that, but you also have the goodwill of so many people who are rooting for you, really rooting for you.
thank you.
And yeah, yeah, good, good.
And
I'm glad. I hope glad you feel that.
I do not take that lightly. I do not for a moment take that for granted. And they need to know it's like breathe. Listen, I'll help you get oxygen, which is life. The only thing you can't live without for more than 5 minutes is oxygen. Hold your breath for 4 minutes, see how well it's going. That's the only thing you can't live without. I'll do that. But the oxygen I'm getting back is atmospheric. It's
Hmm.
cellular, and it's
Hmm.
real gratitude. And I do not for a moment, I know what I know. This has nothing to do with money anymore. This has to do with a chance to work. I want to get my children's inheritance back because I not only was not responsible for my future, I didn't think they lost. I mean, my son went to law school. He rode his bike in the rain every night after working 12 hours and got himself through law school. I didn't pay a dime. Like, I didn't pay a dime. I didn't have any money. So I want it's Rihanna. Bitch better have my money. Like, bitch better have my money because I'm coming, Ross. And they know it. We've already
They
heard.
know it.
I've heard. Listen, I've heard so and so
Okay.
called and heard you on this Today Show. I've heard.
Well, okay. Are
Hmm.
you ready for this now? I have some random questions I want to ask you, but
Yes.
I think they're questions you haven't really been asked on this press tour, and I would
Yep.
like to know. And if you don't want to answer them, just put a middle finger up to me. I don't care. Got
There
it?
is nothing I will not answer. Ask me.
Okay. Okay, great. Is Susan Powder dating?
I've had the most passionate love affairs boys and girls. I was married to two boys, and I essentially was married to a girl, not legally, but we no need to mention the name. I've had very passionate, like I married for love, stupid love. Like I wish I'd gone for the highest bidder, to be honest with you. One of my regrets in life is that I married for love. It's one of my regrets because I
No,
could have gone, I could have bid it, I could have done better.
that's
I
not who
didn't.
you are.
I didn't marry up. I married way the hell down. But it's fine. But I have boys and girls. I'm a lesbian, a total 100% for the rest of my life. So boys are done. But I don't have an interest, and I think a lot of people will understand this. I will never share a house with anyone. No. If I love someone, they could live next door. I
Understand.
never want to ask anyone's opinion about. You're young. You do what your husband. By the way, love husband, doctor, love him.
He's the
But you
best.
know, you're young. He's the best. He's like his energy is perfection. Okay, but I'm not interested in somebody. I don't want to ask someone. And sexuality, I mean, yes, you can do whatever. And sexuality is a lot of things: sensuality, food, cooking, loving someone. I have. I have a couple of love affairs that I consider with women. They don't even know it, but they're so smart. And
Yeah.
one is such a beaut. She's a like with I have intellectual love affairs and
Is that what turns
whatever.
you on? What turns you on? Is someone smart, someone opinionated,
Funny,
someone funny?
funny, authentic, decent, bottom line, authentic, funny, any beauty. Like you beautiful if you know food, like I'm just like, I feel like a truck. I'm like a truck. I come in like a bull in a china shop. And when I see like angelic energy, I'm like, oh, that's really beautiful. It's the opposite of me. you know,
And yeah, that makes sense though, right? That's a
of
nice little
course.
compliment.
No, no, and I admire that because, and then they admire my energy. So that's good. I will probably have a wild intellectual love affair but am I looking to date or get married? Never,
Understood.
never,
Got it.
never, never.
I'm curious too. These are random questions that I just thought if I ever got a chance to sit down, I would want to know.
And
Um,
I love that. I love that.
but okay. So, I of course remember in the 90s I watched the infomercials that there were two voices for me as like a fat kid growing up who were people who I wanted to know who were talking about health in a way that in my small town, in my poor family, we didn't talk about health. One was you. The other was Richard Simmons. Did you ever know him? Did you know him?
Richard was vile to me. Vile.
How did I had a
Vile.
psychic hit that was going to be the case.
No,
I
no,
had a,
vile. No, and we had. Here's what I say about Richard. I don't. Whatever you do, and he's dead, so rest. I don't. And I know he did. He had an amazing fan base when there wasn't. He had. No, that's not what I say. What I have said about Rich, he was vile to me. What I said about Richard is, put some pants on and stop already. Like stop already. Like enough with enough. Like it became a comical thing for we were not the same people. My message was never the same. It wasn't fatties dancing. We didn't do that. I mean, I understand the movement and I understand how he laid a foundation, but not. We were very different people, and he was vile to me.
do you think he was threatened because he had
I,
cornered
I did
something?
not care, had no interest. Everybody tried to connect me with Richard because we were the only personality fitness people.
Yes. Yeah.
Everyone did. Richard and I never had no, I was never, and whatever you do, whoever lost weight with him, whoever found their body with him, I respect the hell out of that. But
Did it break
he
your
was
heart?
vile to me. Vile.
Did it break your heart?
Him?
Yeah.
Oh, God, no. No, as a matter of fact, I use the word faggot, which is kindling. It's kindling.
Oh.
Kindling.
Mhm.
That's what faggot means, kindling. If you know anything about, anyway, the etymology of language, that's fine.
It's
But
like a group of sticks, right? Like
yeah,
a
yeah,
yes,
kindling.
yes, yes.
The sticks. Yeah, yeah.
It's an actual word.
Yeah. Oh no, it has nothing. It's not connected to sexuality. I mean, I'm talking about the etymology of the language. And I said, you're lighting fire. Like I just, no, it didn't hurt my feeling. Oh
Oh
God,
God, it would hurt my feelings so bad just because
no, no,
I
I'm not that big. No, no, I was just like, whatever. Like, put some trousers on and stop already. Leave me alone. Whatever. Like,
you never
no.
wanted to oil up your legs like that and
We had,
never.
but everybody, like my message was it's so different. I
Different,
mean,
yeah.
I teach oxygen and metabolic activation and cardio and lung activity. And I was told, when I did the fat formula, which is an American Medical Association form, it's not mine. Nothing I did was mine. It was all like right there. It was really obvious stuff. I was told you cannot use that formula because women don't do math. I was told that by an executive, and women don't do math. I was like, yeah, okay. They said
Wow.
you can't use stop the insanity because people are going to think you're calling them insane. I said people aren't that dumb. Then the lawyers, when I said without oxygen you die, hold your breath for 5 minutes and see how it works out. They said you can't do that because someone's going to hold their breath. My response to the lawyers was anyone that stupid should hold their breath.
You
Come
talked
on,
you
Ross.
talked of course you everyone knows stop the insanity. So that this was the 90s and things were crazy and you were saying things that made a lot of sense, right? That was pretty logical stuff.
Yeah.
Are things more insane now?
Not at all. As a matter of fact, nothing's changed. And no, nothing's changed from Ozempic to the diet pills, the where it's all the same stuff. It's just the sad thing is it's really targeting children now, and that really enrages me because because you have to solve the problem, not treat the symptoms. And if you're targeting an 8-year-old who's morbidly obese and telling him to give themselves a shot, and it's not solving the problem. So I don't care about all that. No, things are more insane now. I just think that my whole saying, which they never let me use the end of it, was stop the insanity, comma, what insanity would you like to talk about? But there was always fitness person. That's what she does. That's it. I never call myself a fitness guru in my life. I have never said that. And,
So what are you?
I'm a housewife that figured something out, got really pissed off and started talking to other housewives in 1985. That's what I am, Ross Matthews.
Do
But
you
here's the
still
answer.
you still feel like that? Do you still feel like that person?
Oh my God. I just tell you, if I'll tell you, want to know, I'll tell you, I don't ever do this. I don't care what people eat. I don't watch what people eat. I don't, but the answer to the question actually is what I was talking about back in the day was considered so radical. It is not radical anymore. So I'm now like the grandmother's like, oh, we know about demineralization of the soil. We know about the agribusiness. We know about pharmacology. We know about the poisons and the pummel and the poisons in the food. We know about packaged, processed, and poison. So now it's like, oh, tell me. I have in my screenings, I have 19-year-olds. And every time I do, I come and go, why did you come and see this? And they're like, my mom really loved you. I think you're just wild or crazy or something. I wanted to see, oh my God, your information. the demographic is young people too, who are
Mm-hmm.
like, it's not radical to talk about the fact that Monsanto is a killer of the world. Like
What
that's
is
what
it?
Monsanto, the company, you know what they do. They graze the fields and they spray the you know Monsanto.
Mm-hmm.
And
My head.
no,
Mm-hmm.
horrible. And we knew all this. We talked, but in Stop the Insanity, I wrote the food book, New York Times bestseller. They made me do a chapter after every chapter saying, bear with me. And I would talk about the dairy industry. And my first line was, dairy is death. And they were like, that's not what she means. That is what I mean. And now I
Mm-hmm.
can tell you if you want to know why dairy is death. It's quite simple.
Susan Powder.
It's
Um,
true. Everyone knows that. What animal on earth drinks the milk? Listen, I'll give you one fact. You want to hear one fact? Not an
but
opinion.
don't. What? Go.
Here's one fact. The only animal on earth that drinks milk after infancy are humans. One of the biggest lobbies in the world is the dairy industry. The only animal on, and we're the only animal on earth that drinks the milk of a, do you want to look like a cow? Because that's the proteins in, that's made for cows.
No,
It's,
Susan. As an argument, I would just say cheddar. I mean, cheese is
I
so
know.
good. It's so
No, but you know
good.
what? There's a difference, and you know this, Ross Matthews. I didn't say don't eat dairy. You go to France and eat cheese, you don't get they don't allow American. If you're talking about dyed orange crap, when you read the label, here is the label right here. You don't even see cheese. Like, that's what I said. No, no, we're not talking about real food. When I
Yeah.
went to Paris with my son years ago, I
Yeah.
ate meat. I don't eat meat in this country. I ate dairy. Because you know what they do? You have a little dollop of perfectly done from the farm, a bit
Yeah.
of, it's a luxury. Americans on the pyramid, if you don't drink milk, when I see people drinking a glass of milk, I lose my mind.
Well,
Like
is
they
there
tell
one
you
thing
that.
though? Is there something that, because it's a way of life for you. I know you're not on a diet. This is a way of life. It's a philosophy.
For
It's all this.
40 years.
Is there,
My son is 43. Since they were born, I said, I'm not putting poison into what I just birthed.
so there's nothing that's like your treat or vice or
Oh, I
cheat.
have more treats. You would. Okay, let me tell you what I made because it was the eve of the movie, Monday. The movie came out Tuesday. I'm here in Los Angeles, and I don't like rest. I don't want to go to a restaurant. I can. I'm very good. I cook well. I love food. I love food. I eat more than you. You would die at what I eat. But anyway,
I
here's what
love
we had.
food.
Oh no, well, you, Ross Matthews, I will cook for. Here's what I made Monday night on movie eve. You want to hear? Zeb came over to here. I'm in the cabin. Chickens are right there. Normally I would have made a baked chicken because he loves that, but I wouldn't eat I wouldn't make it because the chickens are there and they're gonna
Right. It's
smell
rude.
their
It's
dead
rude.
friend.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
it's rude. It's so rude.
They're
And I
like,
was
they're
like,
like, is that Jerry?
no, it's
Jerry?
okay, so they would smell their I wasn't gonna do that. So listen to what we had for dinner, okay, that I made Monday night. We started with an appetizer of, and again, it's dairy, goat cheese, because he loves goat cheese.
It's my favorite cheese.
Okay, here's listen to this.
It's the greatest
Organic.
of all time. Get it?
Uh,
Go.
it is beyond belief. Organic dates stuffed with goat cheese, walnuts, and honey. That's what we started with. Baked,
Amazing.
baked, baked. Then, listen to this. Then I made a organic, a cauliflower chickpea salad, cauliflower chickpea, broiled cauliflower with tahini lemon dressing.
Delicious.
Then I made burgers because I knew he liked burgers. I did vegan burger. I did pickles, lettuce, onions, relish, grilled onion. I did burgers this big.
Talking.
That was
Yes.
our dinner. That's what we ate Monday night on movie eve.
So
Why would
you
I
can eat
what
all that because it's
I eat anything I like. I recreate. This is what I'll say to you all. Tell me what you like. We'll recreate it so there's not poison, pesticides, and death in it. What do you want? I'll make it. We'll make it. Yes, it takes, but it's not energy. Ross Matthews, you're human. If you live, I'm going to do a podcast called "If You Live in a Human." If you live in a human body, Ross Matthews.
I'm only laughing
I
because
know.
every time you say my first and last name, there's like a joy burst inside me. It makes me laugh.
I have a formal respect for people that I respect. I always use a full name John Redmond, the executive producer. I have never done a text. I say, John Redmond, do you think we should go to a meeting? John Redmond. It is Ross Matthews. It's Ross Matthews. It's not Ross. That's
I love it.
disrespectful. It's
Yeah.
rude. Okay. Okay.
I'm honored.
Anything you like, thank you. I mean it. Anything you like, you can recreate without poison. And this is the most important thing that people don't know. This is not this. This is mind blowing. The human body absorbs food in many ways. When you put a food that you don't normally eat into your shopping cart and you see a label or a food or that you've never used, then when you open your cupboards and you see food, grains, beans, fruits, and you never used, you're absorbing it. When you chop, you absorb into your skin before you even put it in your mouth. You're like the most radical thing any human being can do. The most revolutionary thing any human being can do is internal wellness. What you put in your mouth and your children's mouth. It is a boycott, screw you. You don't have to go into who's poisoning, how much, just don't buy it. Just don't buy their shit. Just don't buy their shit, kid. Don't put it in your family. Don't do it. It's not a judgment. And then I say, this is how you do it. Here's the prescription. Don't start with the kids. To hell with them. To hell with the husband. To hell with the kids. Start making food for you because they'll see you like, oh my God, this cauliflower is really good. And it took 20 minutes. And I would have paid $900 for this in a farm to table restaurant. It's all, you see what it does, Ross Matthews? It's like the whole thing.
I do, Susan
It's
Powder. I see it.
thank you, Ross Matthews.
Thank you,
And they
Susan
never
Powder.
let me go this obvious with Something Insanity. It was like, just get on the shows and do a, here's what they said once on some big show. It was huge. It was like 20, I don't know what the hell it was. This is what they said. Okay, people don't have a lot of time. So what can you do when you're sitting at your desk just to start your fitness routine? And I looked at the camera and said, absolutely nothing. You can't do anything to drop 80 pounds sitting at your desk. It's not a head roll. It's not nothing. That's not the solution. And they were horrified at that answer. And people were like, love her because she's telling the truth.
The
So
truth. The truth.
I have a way of simply this is how I got fit. I didn't have the internet. I didn't know what I was doing. I heard one line: lean muscle mass is metabolically the most active tissue in the human body. I was like, well, I've got about 140 pounds to burn, so active tissue sounds good. Nobody was doing weightlifting then. There was no books. There was no nothing, and that was the 80s. I heard that and I was like, well, I need lean muscle mass because I want internally active tissue. That's why you should do it. Not because you have to carve out fitness and count. I hate the step counting thing, makes me ballistic. That's not just you. Why are you moving? Because oxygen is the only thing you can't live without. And oxygen feeds every cell in the muscle and fat burns and oxygen. I
So
heard those three things. I was like, well, there's the solution.
So
Done.
if people are watching this, and there are a lot of people watching and will watch this who are staring, it feels like, and I've been there, right? Where you are looking at this journey you have to go on. You want to lose weight, you want to get healthy, you want to all that stuff,
Yeah.
and it's just so monumental, and it's so confusing. We don't know the first step
Yes,
to
it is.
take. We don't know how to even start. We know where we want to be, but there's no idea.
That's right.
What is the first step for anybody feeling that way?
Well, start with what's happening right now. Okay, you can feel what you feel. You can feel ashamed or I'm not, I can't stick to anything, or motivation. I have no motivation. I do it on Monday. I'm done by Friday. First of all, understand one thing that you're not including. There are multi-billion-dollar corporations that are designed to infect your thinking. One of them's coming around the corner with the resolution. Okay. If nothing changed December 29th, not a damn thing is going to change January 1st. And you're going to fail again, and then you're going to blame yourself. Get a little pissy, like at least look and go, well, that's ridiculous because I didn't check. So don't set yourself up. That's number one. Number two, no, don't set yourself and stop with it's your fault. You're not lazy and stupid and you're overwhelmed, you're exhausted, you're probably broke, you are disconnected from your body for 30 damn years, you haven't moved in okay, well, what, you're going to get up at tomorrow and become a marathon runner? No, you're not. You're going to understand that's what I call the foundations of wellness. The foundations of wellness are: you must get oxygen into your body, not because it's healthy, because A, you die without it, and B, that's where fat burns. Good. How do you do that? I can tell you 1,000 ways. Then you must build lean muscle mass because metabolically it is the most active. You must build it. Dumbbells, easy, simple. But if you know what you're doing, it's a little more exciting. Then you need to know, literally, there are two things that destroy a metabolic rate. Not destroy forever, but take you down into a turtle space. Dieting and lack of exercise. Guess what the two things are that activate a metabolism? Oxygen, exercise, and eating on a regular basis. Oh, then the question, what do you eat? That's why I do seminars. That's why I do products. I don't just spit product out. This stuff is real. When you
No.
understand the foundations of wellness and you understand that you live in a human body, and if you build basic infrastructural foundation, which is not difficult to do, does not require a gym, does not require you to know much, you can get lean, strong, and healthy, and you can stay that way. I've done it for years. It works. Thank God I did it, because I'd be dead if I didn't do it. If I didn't have this infrastructure, I'd be dead.
That's a good answer, Susan Powter.
Thank you. Thank you, Ross Matthews.
You said something. By the way, for the rest of time, this is gonna. But you said
Never
something.
end. It's never ending, Ross
It never
Matthews.
will, Susan
No, it
Powter.
won't. It can't.
You say something. You said one phrase that almost kind of like struck a chord for me. And then I know we're close to wrapping this up, but you said no connection to your body. I don't know why that hit me personally, but
I tell you
I
why.
I
Because
understand
millions
that.
of people don't. You said it. You said I was a poor kid. We didn't talk about food. I have a very dear friend, Marianne. Marianne is one of the smartest people I know. She's listening probably. One of the smartest people, meaning she did better than I ever did. She got her kids, she did whatever. She sold her house. She got her, and she's worked her whole life, double job, single mother. You know the whole damn story. Marianne is completely and absolutely disconnected to food. She wasn't raised in a family with food. She was raised where you had a hoagie for dinner, whatever, Philadelphia. We had the big metal trays of but nobody talked about food. Nobody was connected to food. She's not connected to food. She will literally say to me, she will text me and say, "What's a green onion?" And I'll say, "A scallion." She'll say, "What do I do with it?" She will never be connected to food. But what she's done is dramatically changed her life, because she, again, realizes, oh, if I go get oxygen for 30 minutes, is it like it's good? And she's like, my knees don't hurt. This doesn't hurt. You don't have to be connected to food. Millions of people are not connected to their bodies because they weren't raised in that, because their parents weren't, because you're a fat kid, because blah, da, 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 da. Okay, let's connect with your human. Listen to the phrase. If you live in a human body, I don't care if it's been long. I don't care if you've never been around it. I don't care if you're 400 pounds. If you live in a human body, there isn't a body on earth that can't burn fat. There isn't one. The human body doesn't manufacture fat. So if you have it on your hips, it past your lips, we can get it off. It's done. If you have lean muscle mass, you must build it. I don't mean that hideous. Your heart is a muscle. Your heart is a muscle. You have to use it to build the strength, or it will get weaker. That's not. You better do it for your health. It's like you don't even know how lean you could get. I'm the one that I made fitness kind of trashy, kind of trailer parky. I did. I made it kind of trashy, Ross Matthews.
How?
I'll tell you why. Well, because what degree? What are you talking about? Like, okay, I got a heart. I'm making it stronger. I feel better. Holy shit, my clothes are falling off. I'm burning fat. When you do it, there's no moment of motivation. There's no resolution. It's not going to work January 1. Don't set yourself up. Motivation is in the process of doing. You don't feel like it? You go for a walk. I have never come back from a walk and said, damn it, I wish I didn't do that. Never, never, never. Yes, you're not in it 100% because that's called levels of intensity. So some days you're hungry, tired because you ate too much sugar, you do whatever. It's going to affect your biochemistry. So what? You don't do it full force, but you get up and you get oxygen. You go, oh, never. I'm so glad I did that. You will never say, damn it, I wish I didn't go and get oxygen into my body. You're never going to say that. They screwed up our thinking. Multi-billion-dollar companies that profit. The diet industry is one of the largest industry in the world, and their primary market for the first 100 years of their existence has been women. So they profit off you. You have to at least look and go, well, they do.
Yeah.
When you look at a company that is, their label is this big and it's poison. Here's what I said. Here's my dietary advice back in the day. Nobody knew what to do with it. The people did, but the industries didn't. They would say, what's your dietary advice? And I would say, if you go in to buy tomato sauce and you don't see the word tomato, put it down and don't ever buy that brand again. You go in to get maple syrup, you don't see the word maple, put it down. And then I said this, if you can't pronounce one word of a label, do not trust that they are not poisoning you. One word of a label, put it down. So that's why I never bought those brands for 40 years. I won't buy those brands. I talk bad about them. I don't care. I'm not organic versus not. Listen, it's not always they use the same soil. We get it, but it's better than that crap that is gassed to ripen. Like,
Yeah.
I know the food industry. I don't
Hmm.
talk about them. I say to the consumer, if you can't pronounce one word, put it down. Don't put it in your body, because your body is precious. Because this is a poor people go, the only thing you have is your health. Well, yeah, why don't you live like it, kids? Like,
Yeah.
it is the only thing you got. And that's the reason why. Not because you have to fit it in. I've got to get my workout in because everything else is so important. Well, if you know one thing, listen, hear my words for the rest of your life, ticker taped. The only thing you can't live without for more than 5 minutes is oxygen. The most vital ingredient in wellness is oxygen. That's why you're doing it. Because you live in a
You know,
human body, Ross Matthews.
yes, Susan Powder. And I will think this. I think also, you know, one thing I heard in there is if you're not ready to take any of those steps, maybe the first step you could take would be just reading the ingredients.
Oh my God, that's life altering. Maybe the first step you could take is literally saying, I'm not going to time it. I'm going to literally go out for a walk. But then here's what I'm doing. I'm never going to burn fat. I've got so much fat. I can't walk my knees. You're saying, oh my God, I'm feeding every cell and muscle in my body right now. Like, that's a different motivation, Ross Matthews, the truth. Different motivation, thinking. That's why I
Yeah.
say eat, breathe, move, and think. Eat, breathe, move, and think. It's all you got to do. Eat, breathe, move, and think. That's all you got to do, Ross Matthews.
I think too, there's something to be said, and then I have one final question, but I think there's something to be said too, and you tell me what you think. I think I'm a little more hippy dippy about this. You seem very logical and almost scientific about it,
I
but
am
I
the
want to
most
know.
pragmatic,
Yes, I
unemotional
hear it.
human being you've ever met.
Do you think there's value in thanking your body?
No, no.
Listen, now hear me out.
Yep,
Hear me out.
yep.
I went to a yoga thing once, and I'm not, that was quite a stretch for me because my body doesn't get literally. And I was sitting there, I'm like, oh my God. And at the end, the yogi was like, close your eyes. And he goes, now let's thank our lungs. When's the last time we thanked our lungs for
My
working? And
God.
I started laughing because I was like, that is so
First thing
cheesy.
I said when you said that, if I was in that room, not if you were there, I would. Okay.
Yes.
I'll answer the question. I
But no, hold
think
on. Let me,
there
let
is
me finish the
enormous
question.
value in worshiping your body. The
Oh,
physiology, like this heart is amazing. I'm not talking about, I'd like to thank my body. I can't with the gong. I can't with the meditation. I
I
can't
can't
with
do
the
that
yoga
either.
people. I
I can't
can't
do,
do it. But
okay.
I think you should worship this amazing machine.
So this
If
is
it
what I've
can
been doing.
regenerate,
Mhm.
I mean,
This is what I've been doing. Every time I feel like I'm not far enough in the journey or there's something on my body I don't like or I wish this, I stop what I'm doing and I just thank it for all it's done for me. It's gotten me
yes,
this far, and I think I want to tell, I just want to give this to people because I know some people are they're curious about you and they're curious about the movie, but they're also looking for answers about this
yes,
or it's a,
yes,
so I think everything you're saying, yes, right? And then also, I would just add, I think this is why, you remember when you talked about who you're looking for and a potential partner,
yep,
somebody who's energy. I'm complimenting your energy with this. I think, yes, yes, yes. And let's remember what a miracle it is that this
yes.
thing's working. Everything we do to it, everything that
Yes,
corporations and power and the poison and that.
in that I completely agree. That this amazing system that they don't know a thing about. The AMA doesn't know a thing about the brain. It doesn't know a thing about the human. They are hopeless. No. Yes, the answer is yes. In really understanding, this thing has held me the vessel. I
Yes.
spiritual, whatever. The
The vessel.
actual physiological vessel is ridiculous.
Yes. Despite
And
everything that is thrown at it.
yes,
It is
yes.
amazing. And so
Yeah,
I think,
thanking in that sense, yes.
okay.
Thanking in a some yogi talk, especially a male, talking to me about let's thank my lungs. I would be like, I
Yes.
can't do
But
this.
it got me thinking. And I thought, and I think
Yes.
in terms of steps, like even if that is the first step to start the conversation with your body, I
Yep.
think that's a good place to
And you
start.
know what? And then let's go to fat burns, Ross. And you know
Yeah.
what's pain in the ass to burn it? It takes a minute. If you've got 400 pounds, it's going to take longer than if you got 20 pounds, but fat is fat.
That
I
is fun.
think to get logical, practical, and simple about it, I think that gives more hope. It's like, oh, so I can burn fat. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it may take 3, but I can burn fat. And I can do it by activating all this other stuff. And I'm actually doing something. And I think to engage in your body, to
Mm.
connect with it, to honor the
Engage.
engage,
That's it.
like,
Engage with
don't
your
get
body.
engaged to your boyfriend, get engaged to your
Just your
body.
body. Yeah.
Your body.
Here's my last question, and this is going to make headlines, okay? Here's my
Okay.
last question. It's a simple yes or no.
Hmm.
Would you ever come on RuPaul's Drag Race?
1,000,000%. What?
I
Who would? Who would say no to that? I mean, 1,000,000. Because you know that in High to Stop the Insanity, Rue had a radio show before this whole thing, and it was out in Jersey. And the management team then said, "We don't need to do a show we don't need to go all the way out there to do that show. Nobody." And I said, "We are going to do that show." We had one of the best interviews. It was 1,000 years
a
ago.
1,000 years ago.
And
Well, I
the
think
answer is yes.
I think Susan Powder exists naturally in the world of Drag Race. So I think that the fans would love to see you on the
Thank you.
racers, and I would love to see you because you've never done it, right? Have you been on? You
No,
haven't
no,
been
I did
on.
it once. I did it before
Wait,
you did it. Way back in Fenton Bailey. I know World of Wonder.
yeah. So you
Way
did
back.
Drag Race back in the
I
day?
did Drag Race. I
Oh, I
was
thought you.
wearing a blue sweater with pearls. It was way back. It
Wow.
wasn't even. It wasn't even.
It was.
It has.
So wait, I apologize. I don't remember that. So would you come back?
Oh, 100%. 100%.
I thought when you were talking about RuPaul, I thought you were talking about the old, because I was thinking the 90s. I thought you were talking about like the VH1 show. I
No, no, no.
didn't
I
hear
was
that.
talking
I'm
about a
sorry.
radio show like
Yeah.
way back that no before any of it.
Hold on. Someone's saying that you did season 3 of Drag Race. Okay. Yeah.
Thank you, sweetie. Thank you.
Thank
It's time
you.
for you to lip sync for your life.
They,
Thank you. Yes, but I did it. But it was really.
would you come back?
Oh my privilege, honor, yes.
Well, talk about privilege and honor, Susan Powder. This is a privilege and honor. It's a privilege and honor to be a very small part of the incredible story that's being told about you in the movie.
Thank you.
That is out right now for everyone to see and devour. It's called
So,
Devour.
it's called Stop the Insanity, Finding Susan Powder. It's available on Apple and it's available on Amazon. And everyone who reads it, believe me, that's what you can do as the audience. You can say, this is what we respect, this is what we like, this is what we, and let's circumvent all the industries and let's watch the movie. I would love, and any like response or any send to me. I'm not kidding.
And you know what? It's going to be easy to find. Just turn them on. It was #1 today, so it'll be right
Thank you.
there at the
And
top.
you know what a task and a feat that is. You understand. You know the industry. I'm so proud of that as an indie. I'm so proud that the people, the audience, just it's like, no, we like it. Go away.
Well, they like it. Zeb Newman, John Redman
And Jamie Lee Curtis.
did a phenomenal job with this,
Thank
and you gave it your all. I would recommend you watch it one day.
Ross Matthews, you are a pleasure. And I mean, you are a pleasure. So, as far as you're concerned, anything, always, anytime, call me. We're fine. RuPaul, a privilege. That would just be a privilege. And yes, my answer is yes. How's that?
How's that? My answer to you is yes, preemptively
Thanks.
as well, as it always has been. I love that I've gotten to reconnect with you, and I hope to do
Thanks.
more. And congratulations.
And happy holidays to you and the husband.
Thank you.
And yeah, enjoy, safe, everything's good. And let me know anything. And to everyone who's been here, thank you, thank you. I mean it. Thank
Great.
you. I've loved this. I've loved this.
I've loved this too. And you know, we talked last thing. We talked about you didn't know the love was there. I'm so glad you know it's there, and it never went anywhere.
Thank you. I'm living gratitude, deep breath in. Thank you, thank you. So grateful. And I'm going to do it responsibly and properly this time. And and I'm very grateful. I'm very,
Right.
very grateful. Thank
Well,
you, Ross Matthews.
Millions are rooting for you. Everyone, Susan Powder, watch the documentary. And if you missed this, and Susan, thank you. You feel free to.
I'm going to
wrap
leave.
it up.
Hold on. I should
Mwah.
leave. Thank you, Ross Matthews. Do
Thank
I
you.
leave him? Oh, look, I'm leaving Ross Matthews.
Okay, good. Wow, right? Wow, right. Susan Powder, one of a kind, an icon, truly. I mean, like a pop culture phenom. And it's fun to see a whole new generation of people discover her and a whole other generation reconnect with her. Generations. It's wild. It's wild. Well, I enjoyed that. Did you have a good time watching, guys? I hope so. It was fast moving and I didn't get to your questions. Mostly because like I didn't want to pull myself out of that conversation. So thank you for engaging with us and for joining the conversation. If you missed any of it, we were live just now with Susan Powder. I will save this and upload this up on my grid. I might do a little editing and all of that. But I thought that was really great convo. Thank you. Thank you for hanging out with us. Okay, I'm going to go feed my dog, Audrey, and take my husband to dinner, where I'll probably order cauliflower and chickpeas because that's what Susan Powder does. I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. No cheese. Okay, bye, everybody. Thanks.